trends which you're adopting, and we hear so much now about cloud, AI, cybersecurity. If you could share, how you are using this in your role as a CIO to say you're now become a key business or strategy advisor to your leadership rather than being, more as an operator or operational person.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think the roles are changing now as we evolve in this whole journey of next gen tech, even for the CIOs. But before I touch base on that point, which you asked, I think I'll touch base on some of the three things you mentioned about the cloud technology, AI, and cybersecurity. Right, cloud technology is a given now in any aspect. You're holding your mobile, your data is stored on the cloud. I think for us, we've taken that journey way ahead for us to make sure that we are onto cloud and we are cloud native in terms of our businesses, in terms of our thinking and culture. We have a cloud partnership and we have moved our entire infrastructure onto that, which is one part of it from infrastructure perspective. But what we've also done is we've modernized our applications to be cloud native. And those are two different things, because I think as a business, you need to understand that moving to cloud as infrastructure and leveraging cloud's power to basically harness that speed, agility of scaling up, your data collaboration, your integration of systems, your microservices that you can use is a key. And that's where the digital game comes in to educate our businesses, because for business also so far, it's not so easy to understand what cloud means. And I think on cloud, what we've also pressed on is FinOps, which basically, after a year of go live, it's now basically the business is now starting to reap the benefits of it, to say you only pay for what you use, right? And if you switch off the button, you don't pay for the electricity bill. And I think that, and they are collaborating so well with us on this now that they've onboarded, that our business cases are getting met. If I talk about AI, Gen AI is one big question in itself. I'll dwell into that. But within the AI scope, there is many other things that we do. We have predictive maintenance for our plants, right? We have sensors that talk to our cloud, our plant maintenance tools. We have ERPs in the background, which actually gives us a lot of information as to when we should be going into the maintenance mode of these particular huge plants. And we are cement plants, it's not a small one that can be stopped at any point of time. And then you talk about in AI, there is a lot of things we are doing around risk mitigation also, right? This is a lot of information we derive out of the data, what we collect, and ensure that all the business functions, whether it's finance, whether it is supply chain optimization, and if I can give you one example, we look like we are manufacturing a lot of things, but we are also into a lot of logistics. So to selecting a right truck for the right load at a right point of time is very important for us to make sure our logistics cost is at optimal level. So that's where we are looking at into the AI space as well. And then cybersecurity is part of our, the key strategy of prioritization all the time, right? Where we are looking at right from security awareness to where we talk about cybersecurity resilience, and then redemption. Redemption we would like to avoid, because until you're hit, you're not safe. So that's how it is. But what we do is we invest a lot of time in terms of awareness with the business. Cybersecurity is not something where we can only be done with firewalls, network segmentations, BitLockers, and everything else. It's also up to an individual and the culture of the organization of how much they're investing into cybersecurity. So we have the Cybersecurity Awareness Month this month as well that is going on, and we invest a lot, and in fact our markets and the CXOs and strategy includes cybersecurity as one of the important things. And then basically making sure all our the whole SIM environment is built. There is a fortress around it to make sure there is nothing coming in and going out without the permission, and there is a data privacy aspects as well. So we are looking at, we are talking about DPDPA coming in India. So we are looking at that assessment as well being done for us and making sure we are compliant to that. So in all three areas, cloud, AI, and cybersecurity, I think I would say we are heavily invested. But I'll go back to for the first point I started with, the role of CIO, that is, or CDIO, if I can say so, is changing in this world, right? The tech leaders have the seat at the table to actually understand the strategy. And because we work closely with business, it is important that the business strategy has the digital element to it. Because initially, like if you go back to a few years, the business had their own strategy and digital was always coming from behind to as an afterthought to say how do we support it, and the priorities were mismatched. So I would say now I think we are making sure that as the business strategy gets built up for us for next 2-3 years, digital is part of it, and business is very savvy now. It's a very good thing for us, an easy thing for us to collaborate with them. But I would say as a tech leader, you also need to take a step ahead. You need to be cross-functional to understand finance. You need to understand supply chain. You need to understand manufacturing. You just can't talk technology with the business, right? You need to be the forefront of digital transformation of your organization and embed that culture of tech in the business, right? When it is both sides, it's very easy to have a seat at the table to say, hey, let's solve the problem. Let's not talk technology, or let's not look at the solution first. Let's look at the problem, and probably the solution is already there with us into the environment what we have. And I think I would say we also as CIOs need to ensure that we are avoiding technical debt and process debt for our businesses. Yeah, it's nice to get all new shiny tools and get embedded into the system, but after a point of time it needs to be maintained. The data needs to get replicated, the integrations have to happen. And then after a point of time, it becomes a tech debt that somebody has to support all of this. So avoid creating that tech debt, and which makes simplification and standardization as a key agenda for your business.